In recent years, when you think of big budget films, you think of the usual suspects like comic book films and films from long-standing franchises. And so seeing a film like Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves have a budget of over $150 million, you'd think, wow, what are they going to do with that? I was fortunate enough to see this film a couple of weeks ago at a Cineworld secret screening, and so I've had some time to digest the film and attempt to wipe my memory of it. But the film's heavy marketing keeps reminding me that it's coming out soon, and credit where it's due, it does also remind me that I've got to do this review.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
So why did I dislike this film so much? Well, let's get into one of the main culprits, and that is the script, because the script was absolutely awful. The film has plenty of comedic dialogue injected into it, but so much of that doesn't land, and it does fall victim to that Marvel style of comedy where there's so many like ironic jokes, and they're really beating you around the head with it as well. Like, do you like the joke? Do you? Do you?
The bridge is protected by an ancient trap. We must not trigger the mechanism.
I may have triggered the mechanism.
Like, for example, there's a scene involving Holger, who's played by Michelle Rodriguez, and another character who's played by a surprise cameo, and this scene is just sort of went on for so bloody long. I was like, can we get a move on? Like, you know, this synopsis of the film says there's an epic quest to retrieve a long lost relic. Well, where's this epic quest? You know, what are we doing? We're just fucking around here. Now, I can hear some people say, hold on, this is an important scene to Holger's backstory, and yeah, you know, she was lucky enough to actually get an attempt at a backstory, because lots of the characters hardly got anything, or even nothing at all.
Nothing at all! Nothing at all!
One of the biggest letdowns of Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves is the lack of chemistry between the main characters. Like, even though I haven't played D&D, I know that it's a great game to bring people together, but with the team in this film, they feel more like a Suicide Squad sort of team. And you know, if you told me that this was a film called The Fantasy Folk and it's the new DC movie, I'd probably believe you. And it's a shame, because I've enjoyed the four main stars in this film in other projects, like for example Chris Pine in Hello High Water, Michelle Rodriguez in Widows, Justice Smith in Detective Pikachu, and Sophia Lillis in It. Chris Pine and Hugh Grant's charisma does get you through some of the more tedious points of the film, and the same can be said for Bridgerton star Regé-Jean Page, who's there to waffle a lot of nonsense most of the time.
Just because that sentence is symmetrical doesn't make it not nonsense.
And just to bring a bit of positivity to this review, there were some creature designs I enjoyed seeing, and also some Easter eggs which, you know, some did go over my head, but some did actually hit the spot.
Only answer when I talk to you, okay?
Yes. Why did you say okay at the end of that?
I didn't.
Alright, let's get back to the crap now and talk about this red wizard character called Sophina. Disappointingly, she's just another generic villain, and it's unfortunate for the actress Daisy Head, because you know, her father right now has a great role in Ted Lasso where he can really get his teeth stuck into that role, but here she has nothing where she can leave a great impression. Some of the action scenes were okay, and the heist scene was probably one of the best ones, but for the most part there was nothing spectacular here, and the film reminded me quite a bit of that film from 2017 called The Great Wall with Matt Damon, Pedro Pascal, Willem Dafoe. You know, some great actors here, again like in this film, but a load of crap.
What a load of old shit!
Also, I must add, the film starts with this big exposition dump and all these different flashbacks, and that might work as a player if you're playing the game, but as someone looking inwards, it did feel like a pretty bad first impression for the film, because we're just being told all this different information right at the get-go. So with Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, does it have at least one dungeon? Yes it does. Does it have at least one dragon? Yes it does. Does it have much else? I would say it has sprinkles here and there of enjoyment, but for the most part, it's pretty insufferable. As someone who enjoys regularly escaping to the cinema, it doesn't cross my mind very often to leave midway through a film, but with this one it definitely did, and I thought to myself, you know, I'd rather do some hoovering right now than watch this bloody film, but you know, or better still, how about get some dice and play D&D? Nevertheless, even though I thought this was a bit of a shit show, plenty of people would enjoy this film as shown with the Rotten Tomatoes score, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you wish to see another video on screen right now, as a quick fire review of the film 65.